Hello, everyone, and welcome to Point Buzz, where two idiots talk about movies, sometimes even a third idiot. I'm Seth.
And I'm Anthony. On today's episode, we'll be talking about the 1991 film Point Break, directed by Kathryn Bigelow.
But before we get into that, what's new with you, Anthony? Seen any good movies lately?
Any good movies?
I'm going to check what I've seen while you're
Yeah.
telling me, because I can't remember anything. Go ahead.
I went through a phase of watching coming of age movies there for a bit. I watched Super Bad. It's a classic. Dee Dee was pretty good. Mean Girls. Yeah, I was just dove into coming of age movies for whatever reason.
It's a great category. Yeah. I just watched Super Bad too a few weeks ago.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I really want to see Dee Dee as well.
Oh, it's so good. It's really good. And I'm still on my Wes Anderson kick. I watched Fantastic Mr. Fox the first time. It's pretty good. I liked it. The stop motion stuff's pretty cool to see.
For sure. Haven't seen Island of Dogs yet, though.
No. I'm gonna get there though.
Okay.
The next on my to-do list for Wes is Grand Budapest, which I'm looking forward to rewatching that because that was my first Wes Anderson movie I'd seen.
Wow. Crazy times.
It's a good
one. I saw Wicked in theaters with my daughter.
Shit.
Yeah, she really wanted to go see it, and I was like, yeah, all right, I like a musical every now and then. It was okay.
Wicked Part 1?
Yeah, Part 1. The like 2.5 hour Part 1.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So yeah, I mean, we had fun. It was kind of cute. And
that's good.
Finally saw Alien Romulus, which I loved. So.
Oh, you didn't watch that in theaters?
No. Yeah, I just watched it like a week ago.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. That was a good one. I would rewatch that one.
Yeah, I think I would too. Couple peas in a pod. But yeah. Anyways, Little Hand says it's time to rock and roll.
Ooh.
So
does that mean it's time to talk about Point Break?
Well, it's time to go over the synopsis.
Oh, okay.
So
sure.
In traditional fashion, I'll do that.
Right.
Teen Youngblood, Rob Lowe, is an exceptionally skilled young ice hockey player trying to make a name in the Canadian junior hockey circuit and impress scouts from the National Hockey League. However, he becomes bullied by goon Carl Racky, a dirty player who has injured Dean's teammate and friend, Derek.
I watched a surfing movie.
Patrick
Swayze. Oh, okay. No, this must be right. Yeah.
And Keanu Reeves is in Youngblood as well. So that's why I picked it. And I have seen this movie. It's actually kind of awesome.
I haven't seen that.
I mean, oops. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, so that's not the right movie.
It's this hilarious gag.
Point Break is actually synopsis. After a string of bizarre bank robberies in Southern California, the crooks donning the masks of various former presidents, a federal agent, Johnny Utah, infiltrates the suspected gang. But this is no ordinary group of robbers. They're surfers, led by the charismatic Bodie, Patrick Swayze. They're addicted to the rush of thievery, but Utah falls in love with a female surfer who is very close to the gang, and it complicates his sense of duty.
Duty, more like poopy.
More like booty.
Man, I really want to talk about the corny ending so bad.
We'll get there.
I'm going to talk a lot of trash about this movie that I love today. So I just want to make sure it's clear that I do love this movie. Yes.
Yeah, I started a different note-taking technique where in the margins of my paper, I've been adding pluses and minuses on the lines for things that I liked and didn't like. And there was a point in my notes where I was like, damn, that's another minus. Oh, that's another minus. But there's a bunch of pluses in there too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you gotta, I mean, I don't know. There's tons of pluses, but yeah. So we got Keanu as Agent Johnny Utah, which apparently that was the working title for a while. Johnny Utah. I would have never seen that movie.
Yeah, that sounds really lame.
Point Break. Sick. By the way, I looked it up because they talk about it. It is a surfing term, Point Break.
Yeah, I was looking it up too. It's something about like the size of a wave or something.
No, it's like when the wave hits like a peninsula of land or something like that. Surfing term where a wave breaks as it hits a point of land jutting out from the coastline.
Oh, it's the point where it breaks. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Well, and we might as well jump straight into this. So, and we'll talk a little bit more about it, but I did watch 2015 Point Break for the first time just to, get some perspective. And oh my God, at one point they're like, that's when you reach the point. It's like, what point? The point where you break.
The breaking point.
Yeah. It's like, oh my God. So we'll come back to that. But
yeah.
What a movie.
I watched the trailer. Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
I mean, it was mildly entertaining, but yeah, I just, there's no way I was going to have a good time watching that, being such a fan of the original.
Yeah.
We got Swayze as Bodhi. Fucking kills it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What else we got? Busey as Pappas, FBI agent Angelo Pappas.
I really liked Busey in this.
Yeah, he was great. A lot of fun. Believable to an extent.
Yeah. Certain points is like,
Yeah. We know the teeth aren't real, but
yeah.
Lori Petty as Tyler Ann Endicott. I'm a Lori Petty fan. I like her.
I hadn't seen her in anything before.
What? I guess I know. I mean, she was in lots of stuff in the 90s, but I think A League of Their Own was like the first one that I really got into with her. Yeah, I could take it you've never seen that.
No, I have not.
Women's baseball movie. Classic.
The women's game.
Yeah, the women's game in it.
John C. McGinley in this too. That guy's great.
Yeah.
The jerk guy from Scrubs and the jerk guy from whatever movie he's in or whatever
Office
show he's in.
And...
He's just the jerk.
Yeah.
Awesome. He's
the jerk.
He does good in that role.
Yeah. Yeah, some fun quotes to talk about later with them. Or I guess Pappas is talking about how he was busting, bank robbers while he was still jerking off to the Sears catalog or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, Busey.
Killing it. Budget of $24 million, worldwide total of $83.5 million. They got some meat in the seats, baby. Think
That's
about
a lot.
All those DVD and VHS and Blu-ray sales over the years.
VHS especially.
Yeah. Like
Laserdisc.
I mentioned it in our first episode. But yeah, this was one of me and my dad's favorite movies to rewatch. So, it's probably 8 to 10-ish when I first saw it. And, we had to have seen it 10 times over the years. So,
man.
Yeah. We had a handful. True Lies was another one. Yeah, there were lots of just,
Did you have
good action movies.
Close your eyes for the nudity when you were 8?
I don't think so. No, he was pretty lax with that. I saw some much worse stuff under his counsel. Yeah, so he was a little unhinged.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, no porno or anything, but
yeah, right.
Stuff I definitely should not have seen. Let's see.
Yeah, this was a crazy movie.
Yeah.
A lot of practical stunts, I think. Like Swayze actually did skydiving in the movie.
He did, yeah. He did something. I think that I put it in here. He did like 50 something dives or something. Like they actually had, and I do a lot of research on like behind the scenes stuff for all these. But yeah, they like had the insurance people on set had to tell him like, you have to stop skydiving. You could die and ruin this movie. But yeah, he agreed to stop as long as they would let him do his scenes, and he did a really good job. And like the scenes when they're actually skydiving are just fucking gorgeous, especially when they're out in the desert and just all those canyons and everything. And I gotta say, I got the 4K Blu-ray right back here. Ooh. Oh my god, it looks so great.
Yeah, that skydiving scene is magical. Just magical.
It really is. I mean, both of them, but the first one especially. Spoilers. There's 2 skydiving scenes.
There's surfing in this too.
Yeah, there is surfing.
I think he actually surfs too. I don't know if I'm assuming Keanu was actually surfing as well.
They both surf. Yeah, Swayze broke 4 ribs surfing, so he had like a hard time like filming his scenes.
Oh shit.
But yeah, they both got into surfing. You know, I don't think they were, you know, experts or anything. Like they definitely had lots of stunt people for various things.
Yeah.
But yeah, you had mentioned too that you sent me a picture. I'll put it up here right now of Utah when he's just like, he's just like the happiest he's ever been when he's skydiving. And so those shots where they're where it's more close up and they're actually talking and stuff, they built this cool like rig to where they would all kind of sit on their chests up in the air. And then they also built a rig for the camera so it could move around, and then they just had fans and stuff.
To blow the hair and whatnot.
Right. But I mean, you know, I thought they did a really good job with that. And it was interesting hearing how they did that.
It's believable mixed in with the wide shots of them falling in the sky. Yeah.
Dude, that shot of Utah when he's just got his arms back, diving down towards them at the end. You know, I don't want to get into too many spoilers, but you just see his boots.
Crazy.
You know?
Crazy.
Yeah. Every time I see that, I'm just like, ah! I can't help it.
Oh, man. So, yeah, you obviously like the movie.
It was all right.
I enjoyed it. It was my first time seeing this.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew some of the movie going into it, being a Hot Fuzz fan, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There's some references to Point Break in that, so.
Yeah, so I'm that guy. What's his name in Point Fuzz again? Nick Frost's character.
Yeah, Nick Frost's character. Yeah. Nicholas is the other guy in the show. I can't remember.
You ain't seen Point Break 2. You ain't seen Point Break 2. Yeah. Rest in peace, by the way, Swayze. So there will never be a Point Break 2.
Nope, just an awful remake.
Yeah.
Man, that trailer.
Yeah. So, again, we were talking about trying to be less going through the plot as we have in some of the other ones, but we will still kind of loosely do that and, you know, try and do a spoiler-free section. Maybe we talk about the characters a little bit, starting with Utah. How about that? So
Johnny Utah.
Yeah. So he starts off, opening scene. We've got him shooting, which I know I'm narrating exactly what happens, but it's important. He's doing a target practice. He misses 0 shots. He's in the rain. No shots missed. We're going to come back to that later. There's a reason I mentioned that. But yeah, so he's a new FBI agent. He's got a little bit of attitude. He's young. He comes in. What's the dickhead guy's like?
Young, dumb, and full of cum.
Yeah. So, I mean, I love Keanu Reeves.
Oh yeah.
But he doesn't do a great job, you know. I don't know. He does and he doesn't, I guess.
He's really good at playing characters named John or Johnny. That's for sure.
Yeah, true. Speaking of, Johnny Mnemonic would be a fun one to cover one day. Have you seen that?
I've never seen that. Seen that.
Very, very fun. Very ridiculous.
John.
Yeah. So yeah, him and Busey's chemistry is pretty good too. But yeah, it's just everything he says, even when he's not talking like a surfer, he sounds like, you know, like he's not really, he's turning it up like 10%.
Yeah.
You got a gnarly bug in your hair, bro.
I like the part where they're talking about like healthy eating and stuff like that or whatever. And he's like, I take the skin off of chicken.
Yeah. And then he eats the donut. Love these things.
Yeah, eats a donut right after he says that.
Yeah, and he's just disgusted with him. So we're introduced to, we're not introduced to Bodhi for a little bit. It's not really a real spoiler that, you know, it's pretty obvious that Bodhi and his crew are the bank robbers that we learn about in the beginning.
Yeah.
But we are introduced to the ex-presidents. And the you know, their FBI footage going through all that, which I just love. They're the costumes, the masks.
They're so good.
It brings so much to the table. I don't know. And one of my favorite scenes, again, jumping the gun, but just when they're on the first chase and the Bodhi lights the gas on fire and just,
Oh man.
oh my God, the fire with that creepy smile, the Reagan mask and
Yeah,
the
it's
jacket.
intense. Super intense. I'm curious if that's how that would even actually happen. Like I feel like the whole place would have just set on fire. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure either. It's like you can tell, like the handle, it's definitely like a flamethrower. Like
Yeah.
it's not
supposed
a
to be a
real,
gas pump.
right. But yeah, there's no click handle on that one. And then again, we're introduced to Pappas next. So
Yeah, Busey's character, the partner to Johnny Utah.
he's been around the block. My
He's an
favorite.
old agent.
Oh yeah, he can still dive for bricks in a pool,
Yeah.
blindfolded.
Stupid thing.
Yeah. My favorite line, which I know this is a favorite of many too of his, is when he asks him to go get him 2 meatball subs when they're staking out the bank. As he's walking, he's like, Utah, 2.
Ew. It's just reading the funnies when he's on a
Yeah.
stakeout.
And missing the fucking bank robbery that
Yeah.
ends up in the chase.
Yeah, there's a lot of parts where they're like the prior scene is like super intense and they're like really care about their job, and Johnny Utah's like pumping Pappas up, saying like, "You mad, bro?
Yeah. Good.
Good.
You should
It means you
be."
still care."
Yeah.
And then the next scene, Utah's just like insulting him for his surfer theory, and it's just
Yeah.
like, come on, man.
Yeah. But yeah, by the way, these guys should have been fired multiple times. Utah,
Oh yeah.
you know, especially, but Pappas too. Like at one point, which I guess mild spoiler, we won't get totally into it, but yeah, he just takes him away from a crime scene that he was involved in where someone was killed. Just like, all right, come on. Yeah, is that when he punches the guy too, or is
Yeah.
that okay? Yeah, he knocks out his
Punches him,
boss,
yeah.
takes him away from a bank robbery where someone was murdered, and he was an accomplice too.
Let's go.
Yep. You get one more shot.
But those two are great together. I enjoy the chemistry.
Yeah. But does it last? We'll see.
Does it?
So yeah, so can't help it, dude. I feel like I'm destined to talk about the plot, at least in a base level. So Utah has to learn to surf.
Mhm.
So they can infiltrate the gang that they think are surfers, that are robbing the banks, which we won't get into all the crazy forensic data that goes through on that with the cool images on the 1991 computer. I love those shots though, pretty much all of the surfing shots, but especially the ones where it's like you have that really sharp contrast. Like I don't know if they were actually, like I know there was a night scene where they're surfing, which I did look into that, and they used just some sort of lens filter.
Yeah, I assume they would have probably shot that during the day. It seemed pretty bright for a nighttime shot.
But some of them like could have actually been at night or something. I don't know. Some of them looked a little bit different where they were just that you'd see the sparkle off the water and like just super dark, like black and like very light gray contrast.
Man, that nighttime surfing scene, the guy who starts the fire
Yeah.
bugs the shit out of me.
He like
he stabs the lighter fluid with a knife instead of just, popping it open like a sane person. And then as the fire's going, he's just spitting beer into the fire. Like, what the hell is beer going to do to the fire?
Yeah, and he does it multiple times, and he keeps putting his foot in the fire too. Like he just keeps.
I hate that guy.
Yeah. So, and that guy, there's all kinds of weird little cameos in this. That guy, if you've watched Oz, the HBO show, he was Tobias. Uh-oh, I lost your video.
Back to where it was. That looks good.
Okay. So yeah, so on the Oz show, this guy Tobias Beecher is the guy that plays that dude. I think his name's like Roach. No, that's not Roach. Anyway, it's one of the fucking weasel guys. He was also in one of the weird drunk guys in Wayne's World too. One of Wayne's crew.
Huh.
Yeah, he was
Well,
a very good
I
character.
hate that guy.
Yeah.
I hate the guy in this movie.
Yeah. But yeah, you should check out Oz, by the way. Very dark. Very good.
Yeah, I've heard about it. I don't know if it's something I want to
Okay.
get into.
All right. Sure. Just saying. It's good, in my opinion.
Seemed like too much of a bummer.
I can see that. Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes, like, I could never watch Breaking Bad. Like, I tried to watch that and it got that bummed me out hardcore. I guess it's different when these people are already in jail for some reason instead of like you have a normal life and you just keep making things worse. That I can't stand. Anyways, we're getting off topic.
Anyways.
So in his pursuit to learn how to surf, he meets Tyler. And once she actually saves him.
Yeah, the first time he goes to surf, he just completely fucking drowns.
Yeah.
It's very funny. And right before that scene, the two of them are talking, him and Busey. Busey's like, oh, how hard can it be? And it literally cuts to that scene where he's like damn near drowning.
Yeah. And then they look her up and then finds out, oh, her parents are killed in an airplane accident. Perfect end. So yeah, he lies
let's
and
exploit
says
that trauma.
His parents died in a car accident. It's like, yeah, just starting things off great. And you can tell he already has a thing for her, like immediately too. I guess, yeah. Johnny's kind of a piece of shit, is what I realized.
But we end up meeting Bodhi through her.
Yep.
Swayze. Killing it on the waves.
Yeah, which
is just the god of the surf in this town.
Bodhisattva. All right, change my outfit. Anyways, back to it. Yeah, so they see Bodhi out, when they're surfing. It's like, yeah, that's Bodhi. He's really freaking cool. I used to bang him.
He's bodacious.
Yeah. Me and him used to be tight. But yeah, so they invite Utah and Tyler back. And again, another one of my most favorite scenes, the nighttime football scene on the beach.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Tyler, I thought she was showing like she does a behind the back like pass. She's run it. Like I feel like she's
pretty good.
Pretty good little athlete. Or little gal.
And then Johnny Utah out in the water with Bodhi getting the ball or whatever they're doing.
Well, he gets tackled by Bodhi first. Yeah. So
right.
Then this just shows Utah's character. He gets tackled and then he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill this guy.
He's mad, bro.
Yeah. So he blocks like 6 different people and then chases him down and crashes into the waves. And they're all, ready to jump him. It's like, no, don't you know who this is? It's Johnny Utah, man, Ohio State. 89 Rose Bowl, baby.
They're like, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. These guys are really into football. These bank robbing, Zen, drunk, stoner, Hell's Angels looking guys.
So this is the part where the whole like being undercover thing is kind of shit. He's just straight up using his real name.
Yeah.
They know who he is.
Right. Yeah, I never thought about that. I mean, I think, there are lots of other ways you could pick this apart, but that's pretty glaring.
Yeah, the only thing he says is that he's a lawyer.
Yeah.
Instead of, just a cop. Like.
Yeah, or anything else.
Like, oh, I'm just a lawyer. You can trust me.
Yeah. Yeah, anything. I work at Sam's Club.
I work at the business factory.
Yeah, exactly. The box warehouse. He works at the Shove It factory.
Oh my God. Yeah, so the undercover shit is kind of very, very thin.
Yeah. But, they definitely have a connection. Utah likes Bodhi. Bodhi likes Utah. And you can feel the brotherly love there,
The bromance.
Yeah. I like, and then of course Utah's out swimming or, surfing and fucks up that other guy's wave, gets in his way, and then
Yeah, so they find that like one hair strand off of one of the robbery scenes, and they like, oh, we looked it up and there was some toxic something on the hair. They're like, oh, surfers go in the water when there's toxic waste spills. We should go pull some hair off of people.
yep. Yeah, so that's when he's, dude, you got a gnarly bug. Another one of those random, not cameos, but the two guys that are like smoking weed under the towel. Which, by the way, when I was a kid, I thought they were like making out or something. I had no idea, what they were doing. It's like, are these guys kissing? Like, okay, I don't know. But that guy is in another movie that I used to watch with my dad, which this one's way more inappropriate. It's called The Stoned Age, and it's set in like the early 70s or something, or maybe mid 70s. And these like two kids trying to, score basically. And he's one of the kids from the movie, the guy that he takes the hair from. Another classic. Lots of nice boobs in that movie as well. Yep.
They narrow it down to like this one beach, and there's some surfer dickheads there. Johnny gets into a fight there. Bodie comes,
saves the day. Back off, war child. I mean, he's with me.
Oh man, yeah, those guys were funny. Like the camera panning to their mean mug faces.
Yeah, and Anthony Kiedis,
so good,
just being so. That would be a waste of time. The most Anthony Kiedis way you could say anything with the arms.
Oh man, yeah, it's just super intense.
And the behind the scenes, one of the behind the scenes features, like the director of the like choreography for the fighting, said that basically if anybody was going to fight, he wanted them to come out and do a few sessions, and apparently Kiedis blew it off. And so when he came in, he's like, all right, so you're going to get punched and then you're out. And so, yeah, he gets punched immediately. And like, that's all he does in the fight scene. And apparently after that, he started showing up and taking it more seriously.
Jeez.
Because he does have another scene, during the house raid.
Yeah. So the house raid, eventually the cop guys chase after their Jeep, run the plates. They're going to go raid this house. So they're waiting for a warrant to get into the house, basically.
And
that night is the whole night surf thing, right?
Yeah, they surf at night. They have another bromance moment. Him and Tyler bang for the first time. And then he ends up sleeping in and being late for his own raid.
Yeah.
And he keeps kissing her like 20 times. It's like, dude, you were fucked. I mean, I get it. She's cute.
Yeah.
To an extent. But come on. Again, this guy's a terrible cop.
Terrible
agent.
The worst.
But yeah, so the raid, so they think these are obviously bad dudes, but they think that these are the bank robbers.
Mm-hmm.
And what a fucking scene. This one's really awesome too.
It's a lot of action.
Some boobs.
Some guns.
Papa's being hilarious, looking for his dog.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite scene with Busey is just Scooby.
Yeah. I love how he starts. He's like a block away and he's just whistling and just like he's fully committed to the bit.
Yeah, he's still like getting the microphone on. He's like, Scooby.
Yeah, man. Again, we got more Anthony Kiedis. He shoots himself in the foot.
Oh man, that foot shot. Oof.
We got the guy
gory.
We got the
foot.
guy putting beer in his Cheerios. I always thought that was hilarious when I was a kid.
Beerios.
Yeah. Tom Sizemore, which I recognize every time I watch it. I see him and I'm like, oh, is that Tom Sizemore? And then they cut away. I'm like, what? Did I just imagine that? I always forget he's in it. And then he's like actually in it and talking a little bit later. But
yeah.
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 Dude.
So the raid is pretty intense. That lawnmower scene, like that part, like the first time I watched it, I was like, damn, this is like a pretty crazy violent scene. Like he's like trying to push his face into the lawnmower.
Yeah. And War Child is fucking intense too. That dude just looks like a crazy motherfucker. But yeah,
But then you think about it. You think about that lawnmower. It's just a small little push lawnmower. It's motorized, but you would think he could just push it away.
oh,
It's so
okay.
small.
I thought you were gonna
Like
be like,
it's
it
on
wouldn't hurt
it's
you
on
that
wheels. It's
Okay.
on wheels. Just push it.
Yeah. bad. Yeah, true. But still, yeah. Yeah, that scene definitely gives me anxiety every time I watch
Yeah,
it.
it's pretty crazy.
It's half anxiety and half how did they make this look so real? Because I can't imagine they that's what actually happened. Like how did they do that?
Right.
I couldn't find an answer on that one.
I don't know.
Feel free to comment and let us know how they did
Yeah.
that. How'd that work? What that smell like? I'm
But-
losing my mind. Go ahead.
I would say from here on out, it's spoilers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where we're getting to spoily territory.
So the end
go
of this raid, we find out that one of the guys in that house was an undercover agent who's been on the case with these guys for a while.
DEA. Yeah.
Yeah. Which seems a little like, oh, you think when they'd got the warrant for that house, it would have been like, oh, hey, we have a guy in this house. Maybe
Different
don't?
departments. FBI, DEA,
Ah,
government
okay, that makes sense.
in action. I'm sure in
That makes
Canada,
sense.
your version of the FBI and DEA would have talked to each other. Things
Nah,
don't
it's just
work so good here in America.
We just got the Mounties. It's all the same.
The drug Mounties talk to the other Mounties, the surfing Mounties.
Exactly. So yeah, it's a bust. These guys aren't the bank robbers.
So at that point they realize obviously they didn't get the right people, so they're like they're gonna hit another place. They're gonna be leaving, the season's almost over. They're gonna travel on the money, so they're staking out a specific bank. I don't know if they know or they think that there's a chance they're gonna hit this bank up or something.
Well, before that, he goes surfing with the guys, but he sees them out on the waves already, and he sees that one dude's butt cheeks.
Ah, that's right.
And he pieces it together, like, oh, it's these guys.
Yeah.
She's like, just has like photographic memory for ass cheeks.
And then they follow Bodhi and see them staking out that bank. Okay, you're right.
Yeah. Because he finds out that they're gonna go to this place next.
So yeah, and again that comes back to the reading the funnies, waiting for his 2 meatball subs and missing them going into the bank.
Yeah.
So Utah draws on him as they're coming out. It's for FBI and Frizz. Blowing his cover.
Completely.
Huge chase scene. We'll come back to that. And then they show up at his house the next day and they're both just acting like that didn't happen. Like they both know at this point.
Yeah. Well, I think he's like led to believe like, oh, maybe he doesn't know.
Yeah, but he saw it. Like there's no way.
I know.
Yeah.
It's pretty silly.
It's very dumb. But yeah, the chase. And, going back to
Tyler,
the chase.
Tyler finds out. Oh yeah, if you want to talk about the chase.
Yeah,
more.
we got to talk about the chase a little because it's so great.
Oh yeah,
a lot of. I mean, it. They're in the car. We have the whole gas explosion scene and everything, but it ends up being a foot chase.
A foot chase that is almost exactly like Ferris Bueller racing home at the end of that movie.
I never thought
like
about that.
Running through backyards and into people's houses and stuff. I was like, this is just Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, he doesn't stop to talk to the babe though.
Yeah,
he does throw a dog though.
Dude, he drop kicks, like he just drops the dog and boots it. It's like, holy. Imagine.
I watched the entire credits for this, which I barely ever do, and there was a Humane Society thing saying no dogs or animals were hurt.
That's
just
good.
FYI.
Did the dog have a credit? What was the dog's name?
Ooh, I don't think the dog did have a credit. It was a cute pitty though. I want to give that pitty a pets.
Yeah. Poor doggy.
Yeah, running through people's houses, and one lady's just freaking attacking him. But yeah, apparently they developed some kind of like pogo rig is what they called it, or basically they just mounted a camera on a pole so that way they had like could like kind of go up and like put it over the fence and stuff like that. But yeah, they did
Oh, okay.
great job with the cinematography. You really, feel it there.
It's a good chase.
And then it ends with in the LA River. We're coming first full circle. That's where the her advertisement was
Yeah.
for the AI software.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny's
Yeah.
bad knee goes out when he tries to jump into the
Yeah.
LA River, the dried out LA River.
And then we get the iconic shooting the gun in the air scene.
Yeah.
Uh,
So yeah, he's gotten too close. He's gotten too close. He can't do it.
yeah.
And that's when we're coming back full circle, talking about Pappas is like, you don't miss.
You don't miss.
Which they demonstrate at the very beginning of the movie, because yeah, he just says he missed the shots, as bullets are raining down on civilians' roofs in Los
They
Angeles.
gotta come down. They gotta come down.
Yeah. So Bodhi escapes. And then again, they show up at his house the next day. And
yeah. Tyler knows he's a cop now.
Does she? Well,
yeah. He goes to her and she like cleans his wounds and stuff.
Oh,
and then
that's
they
right.
spend the night together. And then you think it's those guys shooting the gun at him while he's sleeping, but it's actually her. I thought that was good. I was like, oh shit, he's gonna get shot at, but no, it was her.
Well, I think it was like the night before he almost tells her or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, not today.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me. And then she finds out on her own and just flips out.
Yeah.
And
then we come back full circle at the end when he finally gets to her and he says, not today. Which is like,
yeah, she's like, he's like, nah.
Completely out of place. Ridiculous. Someone patting themselves on the back somewhere for that line.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they capture her as their insurance policy, force Utah to go on a bank robbery with them, and then once he reaches his connection, they'll let her go. Otherwise, that guy that's fucking with the fire that you hate is going to kill Tyler.
Yeah.
He has some really cool name. I feel like it's not Roach, but it's something like that.
Yeah, it was something.
Go ahead and tell us in the comments if you know what that fucking guy's name is. Just put it in the comments. Join the Discord.
Yeah, before that, they do the whole skydiving scene. They don't actually make it explicit. Like, they know. So they win his trust over, and he's just like, oh, maybe they don't know.
Right.
I love these guys again.
Yeah. And he's having like a religious experience. Yeah, with the skydive.
Yeah. But no, they know. And they make him tag along for a robbery. Which is pretty cool.
With no mask.
Yeah. Like, oh, sorry, you don't get to be president today, Johnny.
Yeah. And obviously things don't go so great.
No. A lot of people die.
They go into the vault. I don't get that either. Like,
yeah, the one time.
Yeah.
Well, prior to that, they're like, oh, the stakes have been raised. So I don't know. Maybe that's why.
Okay. The point broke.
Seems silly.
Bodhi. We're at the breaking point.
They're at the breaking point. That poor security guard. The cop on the ground next to the security guard is like, hey, I'm a cop. I'm going to shoot them and you join me, right? The security guard's like, no, nah, man. No. Of course, the security guard's the first guy to die.
Yeah. River Phoenix
poor bastard.
dies. Rest in peace. Which, by the way, he's quoted at like on one of the beach scenes. He's like, I'm not going to live till I'm 30.
That's
and he
true,
famously died young.
Yeah.
That was sad. I wonder what he would have become. His brother did quite well. Still doing quite well.
Yeah.
Full circle, bro. We talked about his brother, bro.
That's crazy.
Joaquin,
we
bro.
About her. So yeah, robbery doesn't go so well.
and they're out
They
of
end up
ideas, so they go do another skydive. Like,
yeah.
hey guys, that skydiving stuff looked great. Let's run it back.
Let's skydive to Mexico.
Yeah, but no, I mean it still gets me going every time when they jump out. He doesn't have a parachute.
Yeah, the no parachute is super, super cool.
Yeah, grabs the gun, fuck it, which is super corny, but still cool. And
Yep.
yeah, the dive, man. And the music
Super cool.
kicking in right there. It's like this real, like, kind of like almost like Star Wars type of stuff going on.
Mhm. So I imagine that the guy who jumped out without the parachute actually had a parachute on over top of that baggy shirt.
No, they
Like
just
that
had
shirt's
to,
super baggy.
they had to sacrifice a guy for this movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That guy. Yeah, fuck
They
it.
just found someone really sad.
Dime a dozen.
Yeah. Hey, want to be a movie star? I'll put you in the pictures.
Just jump out of this plane.
Yeah. Speaking of going back to their first dive too, he's like they dive into water and he's got jeans and cowboy boots on and like a huge jacket. Like that's a great way to die.
Yeah.
That's how
And a
Jeff Buckley
parachute.
died. Rest in peace.
The
Too many.
Fucking heavy parachute
Yeah.
in the water too. That
Yeah.
can't be good.
And yeah, no training. I mean, I guess they didn't care too much if he died, but
Yeah.
it's like strap this on.
Super silly.
Yeah, and then of course they do the they wait. So the first time they dive, he's telling them to pull the cord and he's like, "No, you pull it first." And they, wait and do it super late. They take that to the extreme on this one.
Yeah. Lands on his fucked up knee again.
Well, so yeah, so he's like, Johnny, you got to drop that gun if you want to blah blah blah, which I guess he could have just shot him in the head, but then that would have made then Tyler would have probably died. I didn't
Needed
really
him to
think
live.
about that. So yeah, so he has to throw the gun to pull the cord, and then they get it off. They're just barely slowed down.
Yeah. It's a rough landing.
Oh.
Bad for the knee again.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see how they film that too, because it looks like they fall very fast and hard.
Yeah. I imagine they just jump up from like a higher place off camera and just land into the frame.
Right, but I mean, the way it looks like they're 20 feet in the air when they're coming down.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
And maybe it was like slow, they sped it up or something, but it doesn't look like that. So all I'm saying is they did a great job making it look real.
Movie magic.
I'm sure they didn't sacrifice a second person for that shot.
We already used one. We
Right.
can't use two.
Yeah. And the Humane Society was there, so they couldn't, just put a monkey in a cowboy boots.
Meanwhile, the injured guy on his own parachute, like Keanu could have jumped to that guy and used his chute.
Ooh,
I don't know.
Yeah. Good call.
He wasn't using it.
Yeah, but he was mad.
Yeah,
he
that's
really
true.
wanted to give him a piece of his mind.
That's true. And then that guy just dies. He's like his chute goes off, but he lands and he's already dead.
Yeah. And you just got the chute blowing in the wind, slumped over.
All the money's blowing in the wind with that too, yeah. Which is funny because when Swayze's like leaving, I thought they were just gonna completely leave that dead guy there and the money. But they do pull over and they're just like, "Oh, we should bury him," but they don't actually grab him.
Yeah.
They just completely leave him.
Yeah.
Even though they do
I
say
noticed that
something
too.
like, "Oh, we gotta bury him," but they don't
Yeah,
do
it's just
anything.
an
They just grab the
unspoken-
money.
Yeah, no, we really can't. We got to get back.
Fuck it.
Yeah. Sorry, we got a long weekend. But now, Bodhi kept to his word. Like he's obviously Bodhi has some issues. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And in today's modern world, I think we can all understand even more about sticking it to the man.
Yeah,
But
it's pretty relevant, actually.
I know, right? Yeah. Yeah, banks, healthcare companies, what have you. I mean, obviously robbing a bank and killing a dude or a little, but yeah, people died.
Yeah.
People died, Bodhi. You gotta go down. You gotta go down, Bodhi.
Poor Busey dying in this too.
Yeah.
They just completely leave him behind. We never hear anything about him in the wrap up in the final act of the movie.
Yeah, it's rough.
There's
But
no going to the cemetery and seeing a headstone with his name on it. Nothing. There's no wrapping it up for him. He's just dead in the airport.
yeah, he's just dead with he buried him with his 2 meatball subs.
Yeah, yeah. Pour a meatball sub out for the homie.
Right. Yeah. So, oh yeah, and Tyler too. Yeah, I mean, obviously she's been through a lot, but she's just like, oh my god, yeah, just like I forget everything bad that ever happened.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they're just in the middle of Mexico somewhere.
That's
She doesn't even have shoes on, I don't think. He's got like a busted leg.
yeah, shattered legs, and
Oh
a
man.
nightie,
Yeah.
and then it's what we
And they
all
wrap
came
it up.
here for. Yeah,
The big one, the big wave in Australia.
Australia. Did you hear those Australian cops talk? By the way,
Yeah. Yeah.
they're like,
Something tells me that they didn't actually go to Australia.
no, yeah, it was filmed in Oregon,
Oh
actually.
wow.
Yeah. Um,
Oh wow.
very cool. That it was all raining and like Johnny's got the long hair now. Bodie's got
Yeah.
the short hair and the
Short
shaved
hair.
face. So he's on the
Yeah.
run. Johnny's,
Surfer
jaded.
dude now.
Well, yeah, he's like he's over. He's got to finish this last case before he can move on. And I did read that those big waves were legit. I think those actually were in Australia, maybe the waves themselves that Bodie supposedly dies on. But yeah, they had to tell the guy, this like amazing surfer, like, hey, we need you to ride this huge wave and purposefully crash
Oh man.
and not die.
Yeah.
Um,
That's rough. Because that looked like it would have hurt.
yeah. And obviously those are survivable, especially if you know what you're doing. But there are definitely bigger waves that someone could ride. I don't know if you've ever watched any of those big wave surfing videos like on YouTube before.
No.
That shit is nutty.
I couldn't imagine doing that. I'd be too scared.
Yeah, so
But yeah, that's a good wrap up to the movie there. Lets him do his big wave, even though he's handcuffed. He's like, nope, go for it.
yeah.
The cops come, like, why'd you let him go?
I didn't let him go. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Yeah, it's so corny.
They're like,
I mean,
oh,
it's
we'll just wait for him to come back. He's not coming back.
yeah, that's
He's
what he
gone.
says. Thank you. And yeah, it's super cheesy, but it is great. And like the whole throwing of his badge and seeing it float in the water. It's
Yeah.
so dumb, but so perfect.
Yep.
So I love it,
No
man.
longer a cop. Just wants to surf now.
Yeah. Yeah, what else is he going to get into? It's a good question.
Tyler.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to be doing a lot of drugs. I feel like he's going to become an alcoholic. What else?
What if this is just like, it could be the prequel to John Wick, He becomes a super hitman after this,
What if? Yeah. Seems a little extreme, but you never know.
The John-averse.
I wonder if this had to be one of his first movies where he was doing a lot of fighting, I would think. 91. I don't know if Johnny Mnemonic came out before that. I think he did some fighting in that. Maybe not.
When did Speed come out?
It was like 92, 93-ish.
Yeah, Speed would have been after this, right?
Yeah. Not that there was that much
seen that movie
fighting
in a
and
long time.
speed either.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
I guess
It's just a lot
Matrix
of
is
being on
really
a
where he
bus.
got into the fighting and guns like hardcore.
Yeah.
But so yeah, final thoughts. Again,
Good movie. There's a lot of silly stuff.
Yeah. One of my
But-
favorites of all time.
The action's so good. The skydiving is so cool.
It's filmed
So many
incredibly
cool
well.
shots.
Kathryn Bigelow, director, did an amazing job.
I forget what the writers' names were, but apparently they did write the remake.
Oh, really? Ugh.
It was those two guys, and then another guy was on the remake. So they had a hand in the remake.
Okay, and I
You can
guess I
believe
should
that.
talk a little bit about that too before
Yeah,
we
so I,
go.
I didn't actually watch the remake, but you did.
Yeah, so similar, like the Johnny Utah, instead of being a football player, he's like an extreme sports guy, and his best friend dies like falling off a cliff on, like on a dirt bike. Um, yeah, and then he joins the FBI. Yeah, but he's a fucking YouTuber. It's just so ridiculous.
Oh, really? Oh my
Yeah,
God.
and then he finds these guys that are like, they're trying to do the 7 things of this like Japanese guy that wanted to do all these crazy stunts, and they're gonna reach enlightenment if they do all 7 of them. Yeah, so Bodhi is just like, it's like the spiritual side of Bodhi in the original Point Break times 10, and he's not cool anymore. He's just really cringe inducing.
Yeah. The trailer that I watched, the scope of the stakes just really didn't seem that grounded like this movie, like the original.
Yeah. Well, you do have the love interest, but she's like, she seems like she's a carny or something. Like you're definitely Utah, which he is Utah in the movie still. He's definitely catching some syphilis from this girl. Um, and it turns out she's also in on it at the end, is like the twist in that one. Like she's
Oh my
part of that
God.
group. And he ends up killing her because she has like a helmet on. Anyway, it's not worth talking about that much. I don't remember that much. It's been a week and a half since I watched it.
Yeah, I zero interest in watching that.
I would say if you're a huge fan of Point Break, you should watch it just like to see how ridiculous it is. Otherwise, yeah, go ahead and skip it.
Good God.
But yeah, any negative views, again, it's corny. It's
Hmm.
pretty unbelievable in certain parts, but
The original you were talking about.
yeah.
Yeah.
But this, you just gotta have a little suspension of disbelief,
Hmm.
which
Hmm.
that's fine. I can do that. I can hang. I like to party.
There's some good lines in this,
Yeah.
despite all the corny.
And it's 1991. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's product of the time, brah.
Hmm. Hmm.
Would I recommend it? Fuck yeah, I'll recommend it, bro.
Oh yeah. This is like very, very solid 90s action.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta watch it. If you're into action movies, if you like hot dudes, Swayze,
Yeah.
I'd say on any given day, I'm like 5% gay. I go up to like 20, 25 when I'm looking at Swayze in this movie. He's a sexy man. And
Yeah,
he's
he's good.
cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, young Keanu's pretty good looking too
Yeah.
in this.
But yeah, so I'm definitely way more in on the Swayze. So I was talking to my wife about it actually. She's like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, I like he's just he's got it. He's got it going on.
He's got it.
Anyway,
Yeah,
so
I would recommend this too. Definitely.
we'll go ahead and do our ratings. All right,
course.
make sure you're looking the right direction. All right, and boom. So there you have it. 5 stars for me.
4 for me.
4.5.
4.5 average.
Not bad.
There we go. Yeah, fantastic movie.
Yeah, so hopefully you've watched it, viewers. Hopefully you've seen Hot Fuzz, our next movie.
Yeah.
Another-
Yeah, our next movie is Hot Fuzz, but that'll probably round us out for the rest of 2024, I imagine. But in 2025, we'd love to hear what people want to have us talk about in the future.
Yeah, please.
So,
Really good.
Any suggestions?
Smart movies, artsy movies, terrible movies, funny movies, action
Yeah.
movies, horror movies.
Give us a movie to just like shit on. We haven't like shit on a movie yet, so
Well,
could do that.
you shit on
Well-
Karnov quite a bit.
Yeah, we did a bonus episode.
Yeah.
That's on our YouTube only. If you want to watch that.
Yeah, you wouldn't even let me put that on the real one.
No,
That's how much you shit on it.
it's a short film. Whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, comment, subscribe, join the Discord if you're if you want to convey some stuff like that, or just talk about movies and shows with us.
Yeah, we usually discuss like, hey, I watched this tonight, so you can hear us talk about other movies off the podcast,
movie news, etc. So thank you all
Mm-hmm.
so much for being here. Thank you, Anthony, as always.
Yeah,
And
thanks,
we'll
Seth.
catch you next time.
Peace.
Peace.